Hey, Sagittarius, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your April 2025 monthly reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right. Wow. We have a clear message coming in for you, Sag. We have the timing card, we have action, and we have wanderlust. The message I'm getting here is it's time to take action on your dreams. This is about you stepping into your confidence, stepping into your power. I have a feeling for you, this is a big month, a big time to move forward. And your key tarot card of the month was the Death card. So massive changes and transformations, endings and beginnings. And your first card out here is the Ace of Coins. I love to see this ace. It is tangible. It is something that you can see, something you can feel. It's in the material, physical realm. So there's something that you've been working on, something you've been wanting results on here, because it feels like there were diminished returns and you've been working on bringing up some, I just heard truth, bringing up some truth. Perhaps this is truth within yourself. Some of you, you may be getting some answers that feel like they're based in truth, based in authenticity. This is about you overcoming some battle that you've gone through here. You have the Five of Swords showing up and you've gone through a bit of a waiting period with this timing card. I feel like it was very difficult, but you are now coming to a place where you're strengthening your sense of security. You're strengthening your sense of self. And for a lot of you, this may even have to do with career. You have career at the bottom of the deck, but for others of you, it is about your sense of safety, your sense of stability, your sense of belonging, with the King of Pentacles showing up here as your outcome. Bottom of the deck, you have the Fool card. This is definitely a new beginning, and you've been going through that transformation period, which can often feel like, feel stuck. It feels like we're stuck in that cocoon. When are we going to spread our wings? When are we going to finally fly out of this situation? You've grown, and there's the skull and the coffin, which represent death. So an ending or transformation has taken place here. And this is the month where you finally get to see the emergence. This is the month of spreading your wings. And I feel like there's also more energy, more vitality. Some of you may have gone through a physical death of some sort. Perhaps you had lost a loved one. Perhaps there was a bereavement. And for others of you, you've gone through a bit of an ego death. There's a part of your old self, a part of your old identity that has been unmasked in some way with this mask card. And again, the coffin showing up. So this definitely corresponds with your main theme for the month. Let's get your final archetype and then we'll dive into the cards here. What's the archetype here, please, for Sagittarius? You have the Pilgrim. This always reminds me of Oregon's Trail whenever this card shows up here. And it can be about pilgrimaging, like finding your way back to, a simpler way of being, going back to basics in some way, simplifying your life. But I feel like you've been on this journey, right? Perhaps you've been on a long journey. Maybe some of you are from Oregon here, or there's maybe a travel or some sort of trip towards the Pacific Northwest that could be calling, maybe California, all the way up to, Oregon and Washington. It feels like something in that area or mountainous area has called out to you. You could be traveling here with the Wanderlust card. I'm also getting, for a lot of you, you're stepping outside of a comfort zone. And even through transformation, pain can become comfortable. I know that sounds, like counterintuitive, but we settle in pain, and sometimes we don't realize that we have another option or another opportunity, and because it can become our comfort zone when we've been in something for quite some time, and it just feels like the time has come where the universe is giving you that push. The universe is opening up the doorway of truth, the doorway of opportunity, the doorway of a newfound sense of identity and stability here. Now, this is also about divine timing. Divine timing is different than our timing sometimes. And even though we may put timelines on our goals or our dreams, ultimately I feel like there's something that's taken a long time, and you had to learn a lot of lessons through it. Perhaps lessons around patience, lessons around boundaries, lessons around forgiveness, and even self-love. So Sagittarius, I see results. I see that your patience here is paying off, and now it's go time. This is you. You're back in action here. So if you were out of commission, if some of you were, benched, if it felt like you were benched in some way, energetically, physically, emotionally, you may have needed to take that time out. You may have had to go through a healing journey, or you may have gone through a period of deep self-reflection. I'm being shown the Hermit here, and it's no wonder because you have the Five of Swords, which I talk about the Five of Swords as being one of the most challenging energies, because it's a battle of the ego, right? It's a battle of the ego. And when that ego gets involved, I mean, it can be cutthroat. It can be heavy. And I just feel like you were battling some sort of, ego part of yourself or with another. And it just felt very, very distracting. It felt very challenging for you to overcome. And that Hermit that I am feeling here means you've gone within, you've done some deep introspection work. And now that you have this newfound knowledge, this newfound wisdom here, I feel like it's go time, and you're back out there playing the game. It's like you had to go through some sort of training process here. That's why you were benched. But oftentimes it feels like, a victimization in certain ways, where we feel like we're being benched. Like, what did we do wrong? Or there's something wrong with us. I don't feel like you were benched because it was a punishment. I feel like you were benched to help you grow and evolve into the best version of yourself possible, Sagittarius. And there's motivation here. There's movement. There's energy. And you're going to start to feel this fiery push that your fellow air sign, Aries, is urging you to take this month. Now, your outcome here is wanderlust. Your outcome here is Gypsy soul has been activated, right? The pilgrim within you. And I feel like you are heading into some new territory is what I'm getting with the wanderlust. There's some new territory. Some of you could be moving. You could be relocating, buying or selling a home. You may be traveling more. You may be planning or booking a trip. This could also be, coming together at a distance. Maybe you have people coming to visit you, but this is also about new lands. It's about discovering new lands. And you may even have a call to rearrange your home, rearrange your furniture, your bedroom. You may even be clearing out the old clutter, doing some deep spring cleaning, or if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, doing a good autumn clean sweep. I feel like you're out with the old, in with the new here. I'm also getting some of you painting your walls or putting in new carpet, or there's installation of new items. It just feels like an upgrade type of energy, an upgrade type of month. And if this isn't showing up in the physical, this is definitely symbolic, where your energy is upgrading and ascending. Now, bottom of the deck, Sagittarius, you have the career card. So for some of you, there's going to be an upgrade in your career in the month of April. This could be a new side hustle. It can be advancement, a change in job or promotion, but it's also a bonus. So some of you, it feels like there's a win, and I feel like there's a blessing here lining up for you. And it's more than just a physical, tangible win, even though I see that here with this Ace of Pentacles. It feels like mentally and physically. So it's a win in your health. Yeah, this is a win when it comes to your health because your health has felt depleted in some way. And I feel like that's shifting. I'm getting health for you this month, maybe due to some changes that are happening within your career, because health is wealth. And if you've been feeling stress or anxiety in your career, this is the month where change is initiated after a waiting period. So I love what I'm seeing so far. Now, it doesn't mean that there's still not some potholes in the road, right? It means that you're still fine tuning here some energies in order for you to fully get to the security of the King of Coins. So we have the Ace of Pentacles in the upright. This is a new form of abundance. Like I mentioned, for some of you, this is the start of a new life, a new home, a new job. This could be a new relationship. It may even be a new opportunity to, yes, feel better, get better within your vitality. I keep getting the word vitality for you, and I'm being shown the sun. So for some of you, vitamin D, getting out in the sunshine, that is going to peak your energy. It's going to give you that little extra burst of momentum. I'm also getting nutrients here. Some of you may have been depleted of certain nutrients that really help the body, the mind, such as maybe certain vitamin deficiencies. I'm also getting some of you looking at collagen. Okay, maybe you're taking some collagen supplements, or you're looking at like skin, hair, nails, something of that nature. I feel like there's going to be an improvement in those areas. Okay, and this is also about you feeling like things are finally moving forward. I keep getting that here for you. It's like you've been building upon this. You've been building, you've been training, you've been waiting, you've been in that period of, okay, when's this coming? Maybe even over the last year, there's been massive changes that have occurred for you in 2020. I'm getting 2023 as well as 2024, but I feel like the last 6 to 12 months have been very significant here in some way. Now you have the Eight of Coins showing up. The Eight of Coins came out a little bit sideways, so I want to talk about this as perhaps a potential challenge. Now this can be time management. This is about being able to manage your time efficiently and effectively, because the Eight of Coins can be one of two things: a workaholic, someone who, is constantly on the move with the action here, or this can be someone who is acquiring some expertise, and to make sure that perfectionism isn't getting in the way of your success. Now, sometimes this Eight of Pentacles is about driving yourself, and sometimes we don't drive ourselves hard enough, or we drive ourselves too hard. So find where you are at there and meet in the middle. Find a balance, because you are being handed an opportunity. Quite literally here, the throne is being handed to you. It feels like you're acquiring some newfound expertise or some newfound knowledge. Oftentimes the Eight of Pentacles is mastery. It's loving your work. It's gaining knowledge. It's putting your best self forward, because you are creating a labor of love, whether you're investing in yourself out of self-love, whether you are focusing on your career, your creative projects, because it's coming from a place of heart. It's not coming from a place of fear. And it feels like there's been some sort of fear or struggle that you have gone through, again, that has caused you to feel like you haven't had something in your control. But I feel like this is now in your hands. Okay, it's being handed to you, and it's happening now. It's happening, I feel, mid-month. Something is being handed to you, and it's not quite there yet. but you will be able to make some choices with this newfound information. It will be in your hands instead of feeling like things are out of control, instead of feeling like things are a bit crazy, because the 7 of Coins says you wanted to give up. Okay, diminished returns. It's like you wanted to give up on a situation, maybe a marriage, perhaps a career. But I feel like what's happening now is you're seeing the fruits of your hard work paying off. And you're saying, wait a second here. I don't need to give up and start from scratch. Maybe some of you with that Fool. But I feel like you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from wisdom, from experience, and you are actually going to thrive. It feels like some of you, what it would take a typical person 5 years to accomplish, you're now able to accomplish something in 1 year. It feels like that's part of what's happening now that you have something in your hands, something that has been offered to you, whatever this Ace of Coins is, this new abundant opportunity that you felt like you've missed out on in the past. Here it is being handed to you. Now you're able to see the growth, and it happens quicker than something did in the past. Now, you had to address this crack. You had to address the crack in the foundation here. And for some of you, you're going to move in a new direction. And instead of taking something in the way that you were going, right? Instead of continuing on the path that you were going, I feel like you are bypassing here in a way, but not spiritually bypassing. You've already done the work. This is about you taking what you've learned and not just applying it, but you finally seeing that the universe is saying, okay, you've been doing the work. We're meeting you in the middle here. So the 7 of Pentacles is saying some sort of plan didn't work out, but I feel like there's something that's coming together through this tower that you've gone through. Now, you may have to rebalance, reprioritize, reshuffle up your goals. Something in the physical world is happening, and I feel like you have 2 paths ahead of you. And that's what I just was talking about here. Do you want to keep going on the path that you've been going on? Or is there a little bit of a pivot taking place? And I have a feeling you're going to try something new. With this Ace, with this Fool card, you're definitely trying a new path here, but it's going to take you a little bit of time to weigh up some pros and cons. I feel like you have, though. I feel like you have been weighing up pros and cons. But the 2 of Pentacles is multitasking. This is a month where you're getting a lot done. I feel like you are reassessing, what is on the top of your list. What is it that you need to do? Who is it that you need to become? So your values, you're checking in with them. Your beliefs, you're checking in with them. And when this 2 of Pentacles shows up, I feel like you are moving forward with the mindset of infinite opportunities, infinite abundance ahead. Because you see the infinity symbol above the woman here. And oftentimes you'll see the infinity symbol in the Strength card and in the Magician. Because it's a reminder that not only do you have the courage, not only do you have the inner power, but you have the ability to manifest what you want because you already have the tools that are needed to make some choices moving forward. So don't be afraid to kind of juggle some things up here, but I ultimately feel like a choice will be made by the end of the month. Possibly even mid-month, as as the planets of Mercury and Venus go direct mid-month, and as we fully embrace Taurus season with that Magician that I'm seeing here in my mind's eye, I just feel like you are headed in the right direction, and you are avoiding any sort, I don't want to say avoiding, but you're not going back to doing something in an old way with the 5 of Swords here. The 5 of Swords is compromise, but it's compromising what you can, but without compromising your integrity. So it feels like you've been weighing up some pros and cons, and you've been dealing with a situation that's been difficult, but you're saying, okay, I may have to cut something out. I may have to cut something out to feel better. So for example, let's say this is a diet, right? You may find out that you have gluten sensitivities, or you may find out that, a certain food is causing an illness or a reaction in the body, and you may have to cut that out. You may love that food, but you may be replacing it with something else. And I feel like you're going to feel better. So it feels like there's a bit of a sacrifice or a compromise here for some of you. And this could also be, for your career. Perhaps there's something over here that it feels difficult. You may have to let go of like pay or let go of something that, you were fighting for, but over here there's freedom. So it just feels like you're weighing something up here, but ultimately, whatever choice you make this month is leading you towards your long-term growth. Okay, you have the King of Coins here. This has to do with you securing your sense of abundance. This has to do with your focus being on your success, your health, your money. This is someone who's very wealthy, very abundant. This is a reliable leader. Okay, this could be someone that you connect with, someone that you're working with, someone that you are calling in, but it can also certainly be aspects of you, Sagittarius. And I feel like you are well respected here. I feel like you're very disciplined, you're very mature, and I do feel like you can have your cake and eat it too. And I've talked about this before because that phrase gets such a bad rap. Like you can't have your cake and eat it too. Oftentimes we hear that when it comes to monogamy or relationships. We have to be grateful for what's here, but at the same time, there's something here about you can have your cake and eat it too if it comes to like finances or if it comes to your growth. It feels like the saying that I'm talking about here isn't the you can have your cake and eat it too, where you have to only choose one or the other. You can have them both, but right now it feels like there's a little bit of compromise in order for you to fully have that full picture, full liberation, full freedom, whatever that may be for you. And as I said that I just seen this ladybug, I'm just going to show it to you here. Little ladybug on the wall right in front of you. You see it climbing there. There's something here about change and transformation. So I certainly feel like a lot of you are transforming into a more secured state, especially when it comes to your physical, financial, material world. You're improving your health as well. And some of you, perhaps you've cut out something and you think, I can never, ever, ever do that again. I don't feel like it has to be all or nothing long term, right? It feels like it's something you're finding balance in. I keep getting balance for you, and this is probably why, because the Two of Pentacles is here. So let's look at finances. Let's look at money, wealth, growth, and abundance. Well, you have the skull, you have the coffin. You've gone through a rough patch. For some of you, you were low on cash. You had to borrow money. Some of you went through a phase where you had to take care of a loved one who may have been dying, or perhaps you had to take care of your own health, your own self, and that may have been the compromise. Perhaps you lost money while you were in the flux of some sort of transformative energy here, but through it, you reinvented yourself. You've been peeling back layers. And here's that little ladybug coming in for a ride again. So ladybugs could be symbolic for you. Ladybug is the sign of luck, but it's also about fresh new beginnings. And I feel like you are moving towards something that fulfills you more spiritually, emotionally, and it's part of your mission. There's something here about mission and purpose showing up. And a lot of you are healers. A lot of you that are watching this channel and connecting to this energy, you are a healer yourself, whether that is used in your professional world, but nonetheless, it is part of who you are. It's definitely a part of your personal journey. And I feel like you've gone through something very challenging, potentially financially, or your work was toxic in some way, or there was a lot of ego, right? A lot of battle of the egos, maybe even some manipulation with that Five of Swords. Someone may have been a bully here. Someone may have taken advantage of your kindness, taken advantage of you financially. This is poor sportsmanship, the Five of Swords. And I just feel like you have a choice to make around this energy. If you were dealing with someone who was very difficult, that held on to this ego, that's transforming. The energy that is tethered to it within you and that vibe is transforming here. If you have come to this reading without a job, or if you've been in a state of flux within your financial state, there's a new opportunity coming in for you in the month of April. I'm getting 14 is a big number. Okay, April 14th. I'm not quite sure what date that lands on, but I feel like that's a big day for luck. So circle that in the calendar. We have the office. This is about delegating more. Some of you, it's important to delegate more to help you earn more income. For others of you, if you work in an office, there could be someone new coming on board here to help take off the burden in some way. For others of you, someone could be leaving. Maybe you're firing someone here. Someone could be getting fired or getting canned because they're causing too much trouble, too much drama. 5 of Swords here. This may be secretary, staff assistant, office manager, or any job in the office. You could be connecting to someone who works in an office because they may be giving you answers or they may be helping you in some way. Think of the greater good. Think of the greater good, sometimes than oneself. So I feel like you are keeping the greater good in mind. It feels like you're looking at the world through the lens of a higher perspective. And I feel like this higher perspective you haven't felt for quite some time. Now the Feather card, abundance, easy money, divine intervention. You also have travel showing up here as well. So we have a couple of travel cards. This is also about working smarter, not harder, right? Having the cake, eating it too. I do feel like there's some sort of status here, or there's some sort of professionalism that is being awarded. Not in an ego way, but respected. Perhaps that's the word. It feels like there's something that is respectable, or someone, whether this is you or someone you look up to. I just feel like there's abundance from this energy, okay? And something that you've been maybe working towards. I mean, this is the card of abundance. That's your first card out, Ace of Coins, new abundance, and you see the word abundance here. So this is easy money. Like, it's easy. You may love what you do. This may be easy to make this because you love it. And as they say, if you love what you do, you don't have to work a day in your life. And I feel like there's something here shifting within you where you are heading towards doing what you fully love, Sagittarius, and that's what's coming in. Now we have here for love, partnerships, romance, someone that you loved, maybe someone that you still currently love. There's been an ending here, all right? There's been an ending with the coffin. There's a new beginning from this ending. This is about you being reborn and transitioning. There's been a tragic ending that you've endured or that you've gone through here, but it almost feels like you sat in that space of grief for some of you. This could be a family member. It may be, a father, a mother. It could be someone that you were married with or connected with, or a child. I feel like this energy had caused, a lot of, I don't want to say setbacks, but it definitely cause a shift in your energy. Now you have here an unmasking. This is about you peeling back the layers and fully activating this next phase in your soul's journey. And I feel like you've gone through something with someone. This may be different. I feel like this is different. It has to do with this 5 of Swords. Someone that you were dealing with was pretending to be someone that they're not. They may have gaslit you, or they may have personified. I'm getting someone lying on an application, or someone lying on their profile. It just feels like there were lies or there were hidden information. So that's showing up here. And I just feel like that is ending. Maybe there was identity theft, or there was a theft of an idea. It feels like something may have felt like it was stolen in some way, but I just feel like that cycle is closing out. You've learned a lot from it here. You've learned a lot about yourself. And I feel like you are going towards strengthening relationships that are built on mutual trust and respect. You're not going for the surface level here. Not you. You're deep here, Sag. I feel like you don't want to deal with petty drama. You don't want to deal with people who are immature and people who, it just feels like a level of incompetency that you just don't want to deal with. You feel like you don't have time to deal with in some way. Now, for those of you that may be single, all right, for those of you single Sagittarians out there, you may have an offer of love coming in because you have the Passion card here. You have the Fool at the bottom of the deck. There's definitely a new beginning. This is about chemistry, insane chemistry, where you feel it's like there's a feeling of the void. You don't have to say anything. It reminds me of that, I think it's a Sheryl Crow song, When You Say Nothing at All. It feels like you don't have to say anything. You just can feel the energy. You may even fill in each other's sentences here, or you may have a lot to talk about, but it feels like energetically there's a compatibility. Spiritually, there's a compatibility. And I feel like there's a spark here. This is also the spark of fire, which is you. Something within you is being reignited. So I feel like you're opening up to love again in some way. And there's it says equal interest, and there is desire here. So it's looking good for those of you that are wanting or seeking love after a period of maybe kissing a lot of frogs here, okay, with that 5 of Swords. But you may have 2 people to choose between. You may have to choose between stability and spontaneity. And you may realize that by choosing, what your intuition is guiding you to choose, you may actually get both, right? You may have the spontaneity and the stability here within someone. So that could be the having your cake and eating it too. So I like that. And then lastly, you have healthy choices. Some of you are just focusing maybe not so much on love or partnerships, but you're focusing on yourself, your self-love and your self-care, being a happier version of yourself, loving the life that you are building, that you are creating, spending time with people who enrich your soul. They're great, supportive people. And I just feel like you're choosing to be healthier in all areas of your life. It's flowing out into all areas. And some of you are choosing to eat better, to feel better. They're showing me the chia seeds here. So there's something with chia seeds could be significant. Okay. I feel like some of you are, maybe that's the seed where you're planting something. Okay. Maybe some of you are gardening, or it could even be planting a seed in your mind where you're starting to lean into health. You're starting to lean into warmth. They're showing me the sun again for you. So it feels like there's a newfound sense of confidence, vitality, and happiness and playfulness even. So this is a month to have fun, to play, not take life so darn seriously. So allow yourself to have some fun this month. And then lastly, we have the pilgrim. What is coming up here for you? We have the pilgrim. And again, like I said earlier, this does remind me of the Oregon Trail. So just kind of treading through some new space, but I feel like you're meeting your people. There's something about connecting with others here along the way, like the people that you meet along the way. The pilgrim is about the wanderer, and you have the wanderlust card here. It's about the traveler, and it says travel here as well. And it's about the apprentice. For the pilgrim, an outward journey is always an inward journey. This archetypal wanderer seeks wisdom, experience, and meaning in the farthest reaches of the globe and the deepest regions of spirit. Others will wonder when the pilgrim will settle down and claim a more conventional life. But the pilgrim knows that the heart belongs in motion. Where there is motion, there is freedom, expansion, and growth. Responsibilities, social conventions, and logistics lull us to sleep, and soon the pilgrim becomes veiled in the slumber of the day-to-day. Yet when this archetype awakens, it rallies our sense of adventure and leads us out the door toward a new reality. With the pilgrim at your side, you will never lack courage, nor do you need every amenity. Travel light, travel soon. Your spirit needs it. Now that's interesting because you have the king of Pentacles showing up, which is abundance, which is stability. And it feels like the pilgrim itself is your stability. The pilgrim itself, you having that freedom, that's what brings you true stability here. When this is showing up as the light, it's about adapting, studies. For some of you, you may be studying. It's about growing. It's about learning. When it shows up in the dark, it's flaky, it's non-committal, and it's aloof. Even in the stillness of meditation, the pilgrim feels the movement of the heart towards what it loves. We all have a deep longing to answer the call, to get unstuck. What are the obstacles between you and the door? If you want to go deeper, check out Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken or David White's Mamine. I believe those are poems you can look into. So some of you, I feel like that's what's being addressed and removed is this obstacle. All right, the timing of things, not having enough information. That's why you have the pilgrim, which is about, the wanderer, the traveler, learning, growing, adapting, and exploring in some way. Remember that outward journey is always an inward journey, but some of you, your gypsy heart is calling at this time. And perhaps the old traditional ways of doing things. That's why the King of Coins is here. The old traditional ways of doing things no longer work for you, Sagittarius. You are being called to explore. You are being called to wander. Right? Not all who wander are lost. I feel like sometimes we have to wander. Sometimes we do have to get lost to find ourselves. And I feel like it's not really a sense of lost, right? It's about you trusting your own inner compass and you're being guided to expand out of your comfort zone and try something new, a new reality. So there's a reality shift coming in for you. And I feel like that's the path ahead. That's the path ahead. You can stay where you're at. You certainly can, but you know that that's not the way of the pilgrim. The pilgrim must constantly be moving, finding new water holes, finding new paths. And I feel like you are being guided here to travel in some way. Trust in your soul's compass. That is what I have for you, Sag. It is a huge month ahead. If this resonates, please hit the thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And thank you so much for tuning in. Lots of love.